Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Alyssa, if you're new here, and I have a lot to share today. I'm actually just returning home from what I would say a pilgrimage. And I haven't been home since the Fire Horse year started. And it's funny because everything that I said in the energy reading, which I'll link in the bio, everything came true in the most beautiful, crazy, synchronistic way. And I'm so happy to be here and to share it with you. So, originally, I had a trip planned with a beautiful group of people that I went to Mount Shasta with back in October. Um, we went to Todos Santos, Mexico, and Baja California. And it's the first time I've ever been to Mexico. And truly, it was so amazing to experience with connecting with the Pacific Ocean, connecting with the whales. It was my first experience connecting with whales and being able to wake up to the ocean every morning and hearing the waves as I went to sleep and seeing the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises I've ever experienced, as well as seeing the stars and the moon so brightly at night. And I can't describe it in words. It was just absolutely incredible. And connecting with the land really felt like I have been there before, but it also helped me purge anything that I needed to release. And I couldn't get enough. And later in the video, I will be showing you videos as well as photos that I took on all the places that I went to so that you're able to connect yourself with the codes that were there, as well as just experience the beauty of the world we live in. So, after I was finished with Mexico, I didn't feel complete. And I live on the East Coast, and they were about to be hit with a blizzard, and it didn't feel right going home. And I ended up canceling my flight to my final destination home, and I took a detour and decided to keep my connecting flight and stay in Charlotte. And I was able to reconnect with my extended family that I haven't seen in such a long time. And I felt like that was such a nice way for me to ground all of that energy that I received in Mexico and feel into what was next for me. And my soul was pushing me and pushing me and pushing me to head to the beach. And not just the beach home, but to Sarasota. And I've been receiving, there's birds flying over me. I've been receiving so many signs and synchronicities to go to Sarasota and Siesta Key probably for the last 4 months. It all started with an astrocartography reading, and then ever since that reading, it was every day I was getting signs that couldn't even, they were just so crazy and wild that there's just no words for it. And I ended up deciding to book a flight with no return home to Sarasota, and completely without a plan. And I showed up and had an amazing time. It was truly a soul remembrance for me. I remember when I first saw the crystal clear water and the quartz sand at Siesta Key and connecting with the sky and the clouds and the sun. It brought me to tears. And this wasn't the first occasion. It was every single time I ended up going to that beach. It felt like so familiar. And I feel like I'm getting emotional even just speaking to it. I've been to many different parts of the U.S. and have connected with different bodies of water, but this was something I've never experienced before. I just felt like, yeah, a part of me lived there, and I was so incredibly grateful that I decided to take the jump, take the leap to go there. And I want to rewind this a little bit. It's interesting. A week before I went to Mexico, I was doing a quantum healing on myself, and I had this crazy vision, this download that I received. And I'm going to show it in the video, but essentially you'll see it's a map of the United States, and it's connecting 4 different spots, 4 different nodes on the United States. So it's starting from Assateague Island, Maryland, actually where I did and recorded the Firehorse video. It's connecting to Mount Shasta, which I went to October, the 1010 portal of last year. It's connecting Todos Santos, Mexico. And then it's connecting Sarasota into a almost like prism-like pattern. Inside the prism, you'll see this quartz that's radiating this rainbow light in every single direction. And I specifically saw too the flower of life pattern over the United States map connecting these points, as well as then telling me it's all of these points are connecting Venusian portal of light frequencies. And they also showed me as well to overlay this on a honeycomb pattern, like a beehive, which was very interesting. And my mind wanted to immediately go into researching all of these different things, and I didn't. And but what I did when I got home was I was looking through my old channeling notebooks, and I realized I've been receiving this key code about Rainbow Prism for over a year, and it all started with Yeshua when he first connected with me and telling me about rainbow prisms and Christ consciousness. And I didn't realize that I was going to be going to Sarasota directly after Mexico, but you'll actually see on the map, it was so interesting that if you look at Todos Santos on the map and you draw a line connecting to Sarasota, it's almost like a perfectly straight line, and it looks like it's connecting the Tropic of Cancer and connecting the whale and dolphin frequencies. And I truly feel that all of these different places were supposed to happen in this timing, where Mount Shasta was the initiation on the 1010 portal, and then being drawn to go to Assateague on the year of the Firehorse and starting that, and then being in Todos Santos on the 222 portal, and then going to Sarasota at the end, which I didn't realize was the planetary parade. There was also like a lot of other big astrological events going on at that time, and I received another key code about master number frequencies in the land. And it was so interesting. If you're curious about numerology, Florida is a master number, Sarasota is a master number, as well as Siesta Key is a master number. I believe Florida is an 11. Siesta Key, I think, is a 33, and I can't remember what Sarasota is, but they're all master numbers. So I definitely know that none of this was a coincidence. And I decided to do some grid work. I know I'm jumping around because I feel like there's so much information and things that have happened. And I'm putting all of the pieces in the most easy way to understand as best as I can. So before I went to Assateague for the Firehorse, I was drawn to going to this new crystal shop. I've never been before. It's in a very, very rural area, and immediately behind the showcase, I saw this beautiful clear quartz. I didn't even look at the price tag. I just knew I had to have it, and I knew it was going to be this important part of the Gridwork, ended up gridding it into acetique. And as I was looking at it through the sun, there was rainbows that were coming out of it. And I brought it with me. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. Just so you can take it in. Absolutely stunning. This one. And then I will show you the Lemurian quartz that I bought in Shasta that helped me with my start of my Gridwork journey. Yep, so those are my two crystal friends. And I really felt called to bring rose quartz crystals, clear quartz, and really set the intention of bringing love and peace and light to these different parts that I was guided to. Some of the photos and videos that I'm going to be sharing in here. And the first one I'm going to show you is a picture that I spontaneously took at Todos Santos. My intention was to be very present, not really to use my phone, but for some reason something told me just take a picture. Just take a picture really quickly. And you'll see here that in this picture, you can feel the angelic frequency through the sun and the clouds. Just tune into this picture, and it looks like a phoenix. It was absolutely incredible. I've never taken a picture like it, and amazing. I didn't get any pictures or videos of the whales, but I did see many of them and just knew that every single time I was attempting to get my camera out to try to take a picture, that it wasn't going to work, that I just needed to be present in that moment. So I don't have any whale pictures or videos to share, but that's okay. You'll feel them through the ocean and the frequencies there. In Florida, I spent most of my time in Siesta Key, like I mentioned previously, and then I decided to head to some of the other beaches to do some Gridwork there. I also went to Turtle Beach, which is a beautiful beach, completely different energy there. It's where most of the turtles hatch and have their babies come out to the water, and the sand was completely different. The water felt completely different there. So I did Turtle Beach, Siesta Key, and then I was guided to go to South Lido Beach, which is in Sarasota, and it's a beautiful park. There's mangroves as well as different like hiking trails that you can go on that leads to the beach. And I'm going to share some videos here for you to see because it was just absolutely incredible, and being able to connect with the land there as well as the lizards and everything else. South Lido definitely had multiple portals in the forest of those trails. And I was guided to two particular trees in that area, which I didn't photograph. But I was guided to go to those trees and do some energy work. And the same thing in Todos Santos happened actually on the 222 portal. I had two beautiful sisters with me and found a portal between two palm trees. And we did some energy work and intention and connected with the land. And it was a beautiful experience as well. And I feel like that is a new gift that came online since I went to Shasta, was being able to really connect with the elementals more, especially the trees, and feeling into the energy. And where there's particular spots on the land that are portals, which is so amazing. Let me know in the comments if you've had this experience as well. Okay, so we'll jump back to Siesta Key because I did want to show you some pictures from Siesta Key. When I first went into the water, it was February, so it was really cold, but absolutely amazing. It was so calm. It felt like I was just being embraced and absolutely incredible. And immediately when I went in, I just felt dragon energy. And as I was sitting on my towel and like looking at the sun, I took this picture. And I just want you to tune into the clouds and let me know what you think in the comments. But you could see the dragons in the clouds, and it was just an crazy confirmation. And I felt like Siesta Key was giving me so many confirmations that what I was doing was also being reflected as above, so below. And I want to talk about this special tree that many people meditate with at Siesta Beach. I believe it's referred to as grandmother tree. And she has a lot of wisdom. And a lot of people will connect with her and leave offerings. And because it wasn't so crowded, I was able to spend some time with her. And I was guided to go around to the back of her and take this picture that I'm going to show you. And it almost looks like a window that's looking out. And I just want you to stick with that image, because the next day when I did some grid work again on Siesta Beach at this particular spot, I looked up at the clouds and I saw this just beautiful arrangement of clouds that I've never witnessed before. And it looked familiar, and all of a sudden in my mind's eye, I heard like check the tree picture. So then the tree picture that I took yesterday, I actually put them side by side so you could see them, but it's like an exact like reflection of the picture I took through the trees, as well as what I was seeing in the clouds, as like another confirmation of the grid work that was being done and the peace and the love and light that was being spread to these specific areas was just amazing. So amazing. And I ended my trip with going to the famous drum circle that happens every Sunday, and it was such a cool experience. Just the energy. They played probably for like three and a half hours that day, and I was a mile away from the drum circle when they started playing, and I could hear it from then. And I got the call and I headed over that way. And to see people really unleash their inner child, to play, to have fun, to dance, to sing, to just let the energy out and do whatever they felt like, and just the flow of the music, how everything synced, how one person would start and everyone would feel the energy and they would play this beautiful song every single time. It was absolutely incredible. I know I keep using these words, amazing, incredible, beautiful, but like, there's just no words to explain the energy. And I'm going to show you a video, just a little clip, so you can feel into the energy as well. But as I was like tuning in and just feeling the music, I was seeing this I was seeing this portal being open right where they were. And truly, I believe that every Sunday they open this portal to bring in all these beautiful frequencies into Earth, to transmute anything that is dense or doesn't belong. And it's just this, it felt like this sacred ceremony and this sacred celebration and coming together as community. And it felt so good to see that and experience that. So before I went to the drum circle too, I didn't realize, but there was actually a rainbow that came out from the clouds, and I didn't snap a picture of that, but I saw it from some others. And so rainbows have definitely been a big theme for this trip and for the last year. I saw rainbows as well in the ocean too, which was very, very, very cool to see. I'm going to show you a few more pictures of just the sunsets because you really just tune into these pictures. I always used to think that it was just postcards growing up that were so beautiful, and to actually be there and experience it myself, absolutely speechless. Absolutely speechless. So, thank you for listening. I know this was quite long. There's like so many other things I didn't touch upon, but I'm definitely curious of what your thoughts are. Have you been to any of these places? Have you felt this energy? What do you feel from these pictures? I truly know that with everything that's going on in the world now, being the light is so important, and it doesn't matter if you're unable to go to these places, you are still able to connect to any of these places through meditation, through stillness, and you're able to send these frequencies of love and light and peace to anywhere in the world because that's how powerful we are. And I just want you to remember that even if you're taking your dog outside for a walk, or you're taking your kids to the park, or you're just connecting with nature yourself, or going to get the mail, those little parts of your day, you can anchor light into the planet just by setting the intention to. And before I did grid work with crystals, I would set the intention to send love and light into the planet with every step that I took, and I would imagine my entire light body being lit up, as well as my feet, and just imagining this like lit path. And I truly feel like that was what was happening with all of these different nodes that were connected, was not only bridging the soul remembrance of those timelines, especially if you think we have Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Gulf of Mexico, is really those Lemurian and those Atlantean frequencies, those timelines, and converging them to help us remember the template that was once lost, and it's being restored. And you'll see a lot on social media right now how important planetary grid work is, and yeah, I like lost my train of thought because maybe that was just it. How important being the light is, and leading with love, and seeing through a lens of love in everything that we do. And the flower of life showing that everything is all interconnected. And you may not feel like you're doing a lot, or you may feel like you're making it up, but the universe will reflect it back to you of what you're doing. And there's so many other synchronicities that happened during this trip that I didn't speak to, that I can't even explain, which still blow my mind to this day. But it's just, I just feel incredibly grateful to be able to share this, as well as being able to go and sending peace and love and light to those areas. And I feel really called to explore a new offering, and I would love to put together a mini series of 3 activations that help you connect to the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, as well as the Gulf of Mexico. And it'll be 3 different videos helping you to reconnect to those soul fragments of you that are ready to be reclaimed, and helping you to bring in the light codes and the frequencies of the new earth. Because right now it's so important that everyone steps up, even if it's the smallest act of kindness. It's so important right now, and I would love to leave a channeled message in the video description to end. And it was a message from the Ascended Masters, and oh gosh, it's making me emotional. The Ascended Masters, the Archangels, and my guides came forward after I finished my journey, and I sat with them, and the amount of love that they sent me for following my heart and answering that call, I was sobbing. I was sobbing, sobbing very hard. So I wanted to leave you with that message, and I'll link it. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it to the end of this video, and just know that you're loved and you're supported, and I see you. I see you and what you do, and I love you. Thank you.